You're welcome back. Like we promised, we are back at the other side. And this morning, our topic under discussion is solution youth movement, changing the narrative in youth participation in politics and society. The topic we'll be exploring this morning, we talk about the youth generally in Anambra State. We talk about some of the challenges youth face, and then some of the stereotypes and needs, affecting youth when we talk about them being active in politics. We have a whole lot to discuss today, talking about youth in our society. And for us to, have a great discussion in the studio this morning, we have guests who are already seated this day to help us analyze this topic. We have Comrade Rome Ibekwe. He's the TC chairman, Anambra local government area. Comrade Rome is also the Simeon coordinator, Anambra local government area. Glad to have you on the show this morning, Comrade.
Thank you very much.
We also have Mr. Obin Nawampo. Mr. Obin Nawampo is the state coordinator, Simeon SSA to Mr. Governor on media. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, well, we are talking about youth. There are a whole lot of things that are happening right now in the country, and most time it's being said that youth are most of the people that are causing mayhem in our society. I want us to talk about youth generally when it comes to youth participation in politics and how active that they are in politics. What are some common stereotypes or misconceptions, so to say, about youth participating in politics? And from your own opinion, how do you think we can advance this?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the most importantly is politics. Politics is a system where the ideas can be harnessed. And if the idea can be harnessed for proper use, and I believe that majority of the youth in our society, mostly in Nigeria, has a lot to offer in politics. Let me use Anambra as a case study. If you can watch what is happening in Anambra State, this administration of His Excellency, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, you will see that a lot of youth are in this government. And you can see a massive transformation in all sectors. That means youth has a lot to offer, intellectually, strength, energy, ideas. So therefore, if we can be able to engage youth in our various sectors, I believe there will be a massive transformation. And when you engage the youth, honestly speaking, you will see that some of the youth will live the ugly life, joining positive politics where there is transparency, accountability, a politics where things will move accordingly, not using public funds for their personal use. And when you have such youth in our society, I tell you that our system will be transformed positively for the good of Anambra and Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Obina, let's come back to you. Some people will come out with this argument that most of this youth, when you're about to engage them, that some of them are inexperienced. Some of them, they don't really know their left from right when it comes to things concerning management, politics, and also administration. Now, my question is this. We are advocating for youth to be engaged actively and to be represented in different strata of the economy. How can these young people be effectively engaged when we talk about politics? Because, of course, our topic today is basically on politics and advocacy, without being then dismissed as being inexperienced or too young to know.
Yeah, thank you very much for landing with that phrase, not too young to run. Yes, some time ago we were pushing for it because of this particular question you asked now. I can tell you that that is the mindset of some of our aged leaders who do not want to leave the scene, who do not want to leave the stage when the ovation is high. They deploy every gerontocratic explanations to make sure they push the youth aside, knowing well that the youths bring energy and new perspectives into politics and leadership in the society. But they try to, treat the involvement of youth with disdain, especially those who are charismatic and those who are ready to stand and look them in the face and say, man, there is a new technology, there is a new way of doing things in town. But thank God for Professor Chukwumacha Soludo, who has in one of his 5 agendas, where in the social agenda he said he has youth, women, healthcare, and all that. And in the page 38, 39, where he treated about youth, he was saying that everything, all the transformation he's about to embark on in Anambra State is revolving around the youth. And he has proved it beyond reasonable doubt. His involvement of youth in the government of Anambra State, the solution government, has been nothing short of amazing and soul lifting. It is fulfilling. And if you look at all those things that they say the young ones are not capable of leading, I will always remind them that the age, General Muhammad Buhari, Obasanjo, and all of them, the age at which they transformed this nation to what it is today, they were 29, 30, 31, 32. And I can bet you, if you go around and ask, the best chairman in the last TC, which was dissolved and then reconstituted, is a youth who is under 40. I will always mention his name wherever I stay. That's Dr. Chibeze of Obike, of the largest local government in Anambra State, Aguata. So he did extremely well, and the youth in Anambra State government has represented the youth very, very well. You come from the Deputy Chief of Staff, Chief of Protocol, who is Glamour, Chinedu Umoye, who is a youth. He has done extremely well, combining the work of the State Protocol and Deputy Chief of Staff. You look at Nelson Omenua, you look at Ms. Chimwe, who is the Special Advisor on Business Incubation. All of them have done well. The cabinet of Mr. Governor constitutes more than 60% of the youth, and that is why you see they are able to match his energy, because Mr. Governor works around the clock, and if you cannot work around the clock, you cannot work with Mr. Governor. So I can tell you that Governor Chukwumacha Soludo has helped us to change the narrative about the involvement of the youth. It is no more Elder Afone Kode. Thank you very much.
No longer the business as usual.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much for that submission of yours. Now, we are still talking about youth generally in Nigeria. Let's talk about youth as a whole. We know that truly, truth be told, there are some youth that you actually give a position for them to handle, and they will make a mess of it. Now, but there are many others, just like you have mentioned, that have done excellently well in their positions today. And kudos to what we are seeing in Anambra State. But then again, I know that there are some youth that they have these leadership qualities, but they are waiting to be harnessed, and they are waiting to be seen and heard and all that. So I want us to talk about some of the challenges our youth face today in our society generally, when it comes to, making ends meet, when it comes to joining being in charge of a business or an organization, or joining politics.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Firstly is that on issue of that aspect, let's talk about opportunity. Our youth needs an opportunity to exercise their talents. And if opportunity can be given to our youth, I think there will be a massive transformation. And most challenges that facing our youth today is all about educational sector, family background. Let me use a case study of Anambra State. His Excellency has offered a scholarship, free education to our youth from primary to JS3, secondary from SS1 to SS3. And if you can watch it, you see that they are bringing opportunity to them to exercise their fundamental right. And they have no excuse to give, since education is free in Anambra State. And I keep on saying that our youth need that opportunity to allow them to exercise their talent in all sectors. If we can allow them, as my brother likely said, Anambra has a massive transformation. Look at health. Commissioner for Health, Anambra State, Dr. Afamobidike, is a youth. And watch what is happening in the health sector. In many sectors, if you watch it generally over the Federation, you see that any ministry that have youth, there is always a change. And the youth needs opportunity, not business as usual. Let's bring people who has what it takes to move this nation forward. And I believe, let's give the youth the opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Odina, talking about the era we are now, ICT, technology-driven economy and all that, do you think that the social media, the internet, the technology era now, that it has actually played a role in shaping the narrative around youth participating in politics and also being heard in all strata of life?
Yeah, thank you very much. Please, before I answer that question, I will also want to recognize that the leader of this movement, the national convener of this movement, is less than 40. In fact, so now for my mother that only there. So just to get you understand that the level of involvement of youth in Anambra State, he has been leading. This is the most active support group we have. Okay.
Tell us about your
Okay. So then on what social media has actually done in shaping the narrative. You see, it is one thing to have the knowledge of what to do. It's another, to know what to do, but how to go about it, how to apply it is another thing. So this time around, the social media and the new technology has actually, like now, you don't really need to start calling physical meetings to engage with your ESCOs, just like our governor does at times. Now, you can use Google Meet, you can use WhatsApp video call, you can use a lot of things to do it. But the a little bit older generations are not abreast of these developments. It is the youth who use this media to actually discharge their duties. So in that aspect, in the area of information and communication, the social media has actually given some people who are not ready to learn or who are not ready to upgrade no chance of actually leading this period. And again, the social media has actually increased the chance of people adding their opinion in matters of governance and the society. You see, normally, the adults don't engage the youth in discussions. But today, immediately something is discussed in my Asiago Improvement Union platform, and 18 years old can come in the evening and still add his own idea. You cannot delete it. Yeah. So now, level of youth participation has been increased by the social media and technology. So we are thanking God for that social media and technology for helping us to at least come up a little bit. But I believe by the grace of God, it will continue to happen, and the youth will, use the latest knowledge and latest perspective to cause transformations the way the governor wants it.
All right, thank you so much. We've talked about the social media, the internet, ICT, everything. We thank God for the emergence of that, because it has gone a long way to help us, in our country today. There are some unheard stories before now, but now, once it's happening, we are seeing it on the social media. Even though we have some people that are using it to do other things that are useless and worthless at the end of the day. But then again, let's talk about education. We are in a country where some young people will wake up and tell you that education is calm. But looking at both of you seated here this morning, talking eloquently, addressing the people, if not for education, I don't think you'll be here this morning.
It's true.
You might be here and you'll be blabbing, you have a lot to say, but you will not know how to express yourself. Mm-hmm. So now, the question comes to you now. Education, how has it helped you personally? Shaped you as a youth, because of course we are all youth here, shaped you as a youth to be where you are today, so that people listening, people watching us can learn and see that, of course, in Nigeria, I understand the reason why some people are saying that is because at the end of the day, maybe after school and serving the country, you might not see anything to do, the white collar job, so to say, but then you still have that knowledge you acquired in school. Nobody will take it away from you.
Exactly.
And you can still use it at the end of the day.
Yeah, thank you very much. Education is one of the vital tools for human transformation. Without education, I don't think the humans will be reasoning properly. For instance, let me use myself as you rightly asked. Education has helped me so much because it is a method of character modifications, behavioral modifications, knowledge modifications. Without education, I don't think that we're going to have people who can be able to direct and organize most functions and activities in our societies. And I tell you that education has helped a lot of youth like me in many ways. This Simone that we are projecting, our governance today, is all about education. And I can't operate those things without education. Because you need to interact with people to understand their views, to harness their ideas for proper use. So if education is not involved, how would I harness those things? How would I going to do about it without education? Education is a fundamental human transformation that can help every human to understand this is true and this is false. With proper education, I tell you that our knowledge of understanding will be perfect most often, because education is the key and the basic factor for our transformation, for understanding, for our view, and for reformation.
All right, thank you so much. Now let's go back to you, Mr. Ovin. Let's talk about Simone. That is a Solution Youth Movement of Nigeria. Tell us about this movement and the reason why you people came together and instituted this movement. What's your mandate?
All right, thank you very much. The movement was, born, I think, around 2019 at Ethiopia. Okay. This movement saw the manifesto of Mr. Governor. The manifesto of Mr. Governor is talking about a livable and prosperous homeland. Even a livable and prosperous smart megacity. Yes. So, and again, how do you make the place livable and prosperous without reorientating the people, without making them understand that they have to be good followers for them to fit into the larger vision of Mr. Governor? Then we looked at the character of Mr. Governor, his antecedents, his track records, as a lecturer then, a student of UNN, consultant to many nations and international organizations, and former chairman Economic Council of Nigeria, and CBN governor with best CBN governor award 3 times. And then he is today a governor. But one thing again people didn't notice about him, his consistency. He contested his doggedness. He contested this governorship in 2010 and was not successful. And he maintained being in line. And today he's a governor. That doggedness, that consistency, like I was discussing with my brother when we were coming in here, because he had a story like that too. And we looked at everything and we said, this man is the complete package. Because someone like me who studied social studies education in my first degree, we talk about role models as part of the things to help and make the younger ones look at our cherished values and what is expected of them. So we say this is a perfect role model, and today he's a grand patron of Solution Youth Movement of Nigeria. So it is modeled around the character, the person of Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo. Now, what are the core things we talk about when we come to that? Is a volunteerism. Now, after volunteerism, we now always say this is an ideological movement, not purely a political movement. It's an ideological movement that has, just like in the Bible when they said, okay, when you look at this thing that is molded, your sickness, that what is killing you will leave you. So we are looking at the character and person of Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo. His ideologies of life, his industry, his belief that his belief that he who does not work, that like the Bible says, you know what follows. Now we believe in, say, he believes in transparency. He just won an award in physical transparency, #1 in all the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So his transparency has been documented, confirmed by the persons who are not him. You understand? So he's a transparent person. He's prudent, just like he has been prudent in managing the resources of Anambra state government, stopping one wasteful outlet of money with what they say facility management fund, through which 137 million naira was budgeted. every month. And then he looked at it and reduced it to actually 11 million naira every month. His prudence, everything he does, and said, let us come together and follow this man and see from if we can actually help him make this place a livable and prosperous homeland.
All right. Comrade, let me come to you. As a movement, and of course by the name Solution, right?
Yeah.
I believe that all you do is just like Obina has pointed out, all you do is just to support the governor of the state. So I want you to practically tell me how you have been supporting the good governance that is happening in Anambra State. Of course, a whole lot of changes have been seen in every sector of the state economy. So what are your activities like, and how do you support the movement, the Solution movement in Anambra State?
Thank you very much. Firstly is that, as he likely mentioned, my brother, firstly, Simon, Solution Youth Movement of Nigeria, is a movement that harnesses ideas, character modifications of the youth. Firstly, we are advocates of transparency, leadership transparency, trying to take in the gospel to the various grassroots. Solution Youth Movement is across 21 local governments in Anambra State, across the whole wards in Anambra State. Now, we have our members all over, and our mission and vision is to making sure that we modify our youth for them to see that public office or public fund should not be used for their personal use, but for public services. That every fund that is on your table must be accounted for. That you must use the fund for the purpose of it. And making sure that the youth that we're having in our society who don't have opportunity to express their feelings and their minds, their knowledge, will come together and look into the way to transform Anambra State. We cannot do it alone, those of us who are in this studio. But we have members everywhere. We have done our inaugurations from local government. We are going to ward, preaching them about Simon, for them to live the life of our principal, Professor Chukwu Masoludo, a life of transparency, a life of accountability, a life that we should look onto, having the zeal to serve people, not what you will gain, but the service you can offer. The question is, what can you offer to Anambra? What we can offer to Anambra to making sure that our youth are involved in what transformation. And if our youth can be involved in the world transformation, I bet you, in next years to come, Anambra will be one of the best states you can say. We have the youth who have done so well in all sectors.
All right, thank you. Obina, you see, Solution Youth Movement of Nigeria, your reach, is it just limited to Nigeria? Because I know we have youth, Anambra youth all over the world. And some of them, they are willing to contribute to this particular movement. Even if they are not here presently, they can give advice, they can bring their financial resources and help you to, go about and achieve the aims and objectives of instituting this movement in the first place. So, how do you relate with those in diaspora, Anambra youths in diaspora, as regards to this movement?
Yeah, thank you very much. We don't really want to start from the diaspora population, but we will present ourselves as worthy of, the interest of the diasporan Nigerians and then the Anambra. Our people used to say, any person that will have his load put on his head must first of all take it to his knees. So we have already started doing some things, like on 29th, Saturday, next tomorrow, we are having leadership summit. We are preparing the youth for global leadership with the Soludo example. So we want to start reorientating the youth, getting them involved in worthwhile activities, getting them understand what it takes to be on Anambra. We are proud of that name, the Anambra. So when we get them to understand that the place of industry in someone's transformation, and then the transformation of the state, and then the diaspora will now see it and say, these people are following the right channel. Therefore, let us come in. We are not support and money conscious. We are, like I said, we are voluntary movement. So, but we are open to support and help whenever it comes. But first of all, the Bible will tell you, present yourself as one who is immaculate. So we want to present ourselves as people who are worthy of receiving the interest of the diaspora.
Talking about the program that you have on Saturday, right? Saturday, 29th of June. So this coming Saturday, 2024, at the Women Development Center, Oka. Who are you expecting to be there, part of this, important summit, all-important summit?
Thank you very much. Firstly, is that we're expecting all the local governments, all the local government coordinators with their world executives, local government experts across 21 local governments. Both the students, we have Simone in Anambra University, we have Simone in Chukwemeko University, as Federal Polytechnic Boko. We have all our members in all those places. They are going to be there. We're expecting guest speakers all over Anambra State. Dr. Alex Biogoro will be there. We're expecting other guests, speaker, political appointees. They're going to be there, talking to our youth, trying to reposition them in the modern politics, trying to educate them the importance for us to abide by the transparency and accountability. So it's a very massive program that's going to touch a lot of lives of the youth across Anambra State. So I'm expecting all the Anambra to come that day to see what is going to happen that day, because I believe this is an opportunity for our youth to get what it takes to move Anambra forward.
All right, thank you. Still on the program, because I know that you want to talk about it robustly here on the show, so people will be part of the program. What's the end game for you? I mean, what do you want to achieve at the end of this particular summit? And is it going to be just a one-off thing, or something that you do monthly, bi-monthly, annually?
Well, Rome, not this particular Rome, was not.
Like the name, I wanted to ask him why the name Rome, but then let's go ahead.
A day. So we are going to prepare them. What we are expecting at the end of the summit is that people would have started seeing leadership from the right prism, from the right perspective, what the leadership should be, the ideal leadership. They should be able to start seeing it from that angle. Those who are already seeing it will always sharpen the vision they already have. We want to raise youth who will go back to their communities and be useful. Youths who will go back to their local governments and seek to contribute their quota to the betterment of humanity. We want to raise youth who see leadership as a vehicle for changing the society for the good of mankind, not those who see it as employment opportunity. Because leadership is not employment opportunity. I don't condemn people who see it so much, but we have to unlearn them and relearn them for them to understand that it is not employment opportunity. Because just because unemployment is rife in Nigeria, some of problems is rife in Nigeria, people say education is the key. But when they finish education, they will not see the door to put the key again. So they will just insert the key in politics and leadership. Yes, we are welcomed. Everybody is welcome. But you have to have the right mindset. So the whole idea is changing the attitude of the young Anambra man to fit into the livable and prosperous homeland.
Okay. Well, that's quite understandable. But then again, just this one-off summit is not going to do that change it. That's why I asked, is it going to be an annual stuff? Is it going to be a monthly stuff? And then, are there other forums or where you organize and bring youth together to talk to them? Because we are talking about changing the narrative so that they will have the right perception to things. So, are there other ways meetings where you sit and talk to those youths?
tell them, especially when we talk about students, because they are still in school, so we can actually redirect their mindset now?
Okay, thank you very much. Before we start this summit that is coming on 29th, we have been able to attending inaugurations from one local government to another local government, talking to them, as I likely said, trying to modify their minds, modify their ideology. And then after the summit that is coming, we are continuing visiting various local governments, the schools in Anambra State, talking to them on the particular need for character modifications in terms of leadership. Leadership is not about opportunity, as I likely said. It's a service to the people, serving people with all your zeal and passion, discovering what is their challenges and having solutions to their challenges. That is what we are able to preach in always. And those challenges are facing humanity are what made most people that discover a lot of scientific measures all over the world. They are trying to, what can I do to transform these people that are suffering from one sickness or the other? What can I do to change this society in society? We are trying to bring out the best of you in you, to use it to service of humanity, not for your personal gain, but rendering yourself as a sacrifice for others to live.
In addition, we have been organizing symposia in local governments. We have been having meetings with them. We have been having practical involvement all around the places. Like, we have always encouraged the youth to participate in their community projects, like normal cleanup exercises. We made them know that they have to get involved as well. We have been
just like the one being shown there.
Exactly. That one there is at Newi. Yes, at Newi. So we try to let them know, because we have had series of interactions where we made them know that any property, like we are saying there.
You are the person talking there.
Oh yes. So any government project that is in your area, in your vicinity, is not government project. It is your project. So take ownership of everything that the government does. Because if you vandalize them, then the next government that will come tomorrow, instead of budgeting for youth employment, then he will be budgeting to replace the equipment you vandalized. So it will be we'll be making one step forward, one step backward. At the end of the day, we are one place. So we've tried in many ways. And this program will not just be once. And this is not ending with Professor Chukwumacha Soludo. Yes, it is an ongoing stuff. It is not, in fact, if you look at the name, it says Solution Youth Movement of Nigeria. So we want to sell the solution pattern, the solution ideas to the entire nation. But we are using Anambra State as a testing ground to see if we can do it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, all these activities of yours and
What we have been doing so far, are there things that you have seen that could pose a barrier or a challenge to this movement? Something that can actually limit what you intend to do as a movement?
Firstly, we don't see problem. We see only challenge. And
but you need to see it so that you solve it before it spoils things for you.
We're a Solution Youth Movement of Nigeria.
Okay, so it's solution all the way.
Yeah, we don't see problem. We don't use the word problem. It's challenges.
Wow. Okay.
We only see challenge. And those challenges...
You only see challenge. No, you only see solution.
No, challenges.
Okay.
We always have a solution.
Yes.
And that solution is on the ground, running. And you can see, let me use Anambra as a case study. You can see a lot of massive transformation going from the health sectors, free delivering, this, that, fun city that is going on, a lot of projects everywhere. From Oka to my town, I will just close my eyes driving because the road is very easy and very smooth. So you can see a lot of massive transformation. And it is our duty to always join together to support the government, which is Solution Youth Movement. This is what we are doing. To get the youth involved, or all of us to join hands and push this state forward. Because I believe our individuals' views and talents are needed in the governance. Government cannot do it alone. It is a collective effort. It is you and I can do it. Okay. Not only left for Mr. A or Mr. B. It is a collective effort.
All right. So talking about all youth being involved in this movement, How do you bring in your members? Can anyone just come up and decide to join? Do I need to register with the movement before I will become a member? And then how do you do that?
All right. The way we do it is that we ask for people. First of all, we started by asking for people in local governments who we can introduce our idea to. And those, we introduced it to many people at the local government level, like him. He saw it and said, this is what he has been clamoring for. So, which means he bought into the idea. Now, we met them and allowed them select their leadership at the local government level. Now, through the local government level, he goes to the wards and introduces it. And when he introduces it, people who buy into the idea, we don't coerce people. It is not by coercion. So it is by you willingly join us, or you volunteer to do this work because it is a job that we are doing. So everybody can join, but we have to let you know this is what you are joining. It is not. We are not going to dash you money. We are not going to, at the end of the day, we give you 1,000 naira to go back to you, just like it's being done in the political sphere. Now, okay, 1,000 naira, come, we gather crowd. You ask yourself, why didn't we start with rally? We don't do all those stuffs. We want to gradually penetrate the consciousness, the mindset of the people. So we throw it open. We are like in every local government now, we have Simon, but we have inaugurated officially 17 local governments. We don't just go and inaugurate. When we come to inaugurate you, we will make sure that you have passed all the initial tests of becoming, for us to now come and plant the seed of Simon there. So everybody can join, but you have to know that it is service to the society.
Oh, okay, so nobody's giving you a dime at the end of the day. But no. We can actually come to a meeting and at the end of the day, I can't engage in it.
Yes.
Because it's a motivation.
Of course, used to I say, okay, please, I am going to give us what we're going to eat today.
Okay.
It's voluntary.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Now, in a country where we are bedeviled, where we are facing a lot of challenges, let's talk about insecurity. Truth be told, many parts of Nigeria are insecure. And then when we talk about the youth, their strength, their zeal, I mean, some of them are eager to work, but just like you said, they don't have the opportunity to do that. Now, as a movement, I know most people under this movement have some ideas in their heads how we can, tackle this insecurity in our country, in our state, around us, in our communities, all these pockets kind of, robbery and all that. So, my question is there any way you guys, as a movement, you're also, while we are trying to change the mindset of the youth when it comes to politics and all that, are there ways that you are also planning to contribute to see how we can curb insecurity? What is happening around us?
Okay, thank you very much. Firstly, on issue of insecurity, I can see it as a thing that always happening in our society because most of our youths are not employed. And since our youth are not employed, the level of insecurity will increase. But firstly is that we need to give them opportunity. Like let me use Anambra as a case study. 5,000 youths our government has taken on skill acquisition. And there are other upcoming opportunities for them. In Simon, we have such programs which we are on discussions with the Commissioner for Youth in second phase. Even the past one, most of our members are into it. They are engaged in skill acquisition, getting them involved. We're even using some of our little resources, empowering them in various local governments. Those who know how to do barbering, those who know how to do salon, we often give them money to just start up. Our duty is to make sure that we engage them, for them to be useful. Because idle mind is a devil's workshop. So therefore, we are making sure that we can able to engage our youth. Because when youth are employed, I think insecurity will reduce. Because when you are busy, you not have a time for crime. So we are making sure in this Simon that our members get involved in one business or one skill acquisition or the other, which we have already started.
Obina, in the next 2 years, where are you seeing this movement? Simone?
Well, in the next 2 years, I am seeing Simone in some states of Southeast.
Okay.
The tentacles will be spread because they have just informed me that they have started gradually that of Enugu State, the Solution Youth Movement of Nigeria, Enugu State chapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, my friend Nnamdi told me they have started it. So I'm seeing Simone spread to the Southeast states because it's, I think, so I think it's a good idea. So they have started buying into it. Then touching more on that security that he just talked about, the coordinator of Oka North is the head of a volunteer security outfit called CONISA, the coordinator of Simone Oka North. Yeah. So that volunteerism, we have actually taken it into Simone too and security. And we also give them information, whatever you see, you talk about it.
You see something,
if you see something, you say something.
Yeah.
That we have tried to, give them numbers to call if they see some movements around to help the government, because the insecurity is not only in Southeast, it's also in
everywhere.
Nigeria, everywhere. So the consciousness of security also made us to have some local government coordinators who are security experts, and some civil defense officers are in our schools.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just quickly before we go, just tell us more the venue for the event on Saturday, the time, and all about the event, the activities lined up for the day.
Okay. The venue is the Women Development Center, Oka. The event starts by 9 a.m.
Okay.
Dot. Accreditation starts by 8 o'clock, 8 a.m.
8 a.m. So people are expected to come by 8 a.m. for the accreditation.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
But without accreditation, you won't be able to join the
We are
symposium.
making sure that we have accreditation.
Okay, so that the database of the people that came.
Everything is systematic, deliberate.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So make sure that we have a proper documentation to know how many people do we have. So this will give us the widespread
Okay.
of the Simone across 21 local governments.
And make sure that every attendee is accounted for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what about the activities apart from the talks? And are they, use now like something to ease their mind off the serious thoughts?
And we have all those packages. We
Okay.
have the cultural dance, we
Okay,
display that
okay.
day. Everything is on ground. The most important
Even medical stuff.
medical outreach are there.
Wow.
Checking their DP, their sugar, HIV, and whatever.
Okay.
So we're
Well,
making sure that
Interactive section also.
interactive section, they express their minds and whatever.
Wow, it's quite all encompassing, and I must commend you for coming up with this initiative, Simone, and also this particular event that is going to hold on Saturday. I think I will be there. I would like to be one of the participants of the show.
I will personally and especially welcome you.
All right. I want to say a very big thank you to both of you for joining us on the show this morning. Comrade Rome Ibekwe, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
And also Mr. Obin Nawangwo, we appreciate your presence.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's it on the show this morning. My name is Chidinma Oramwa. In Anambra State, you can even come from our neighboring states. If you want to learn and be part of this event, just make yourself available on Saturday at the Dorak Women Development Center by 9 a.m. in the morning. Thank you so much for being part of the show this morning. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.